Hey everybody, welcome to Vinyl Fetish. How's it going? I wanted to talk about the new ELO record that just came out. Andy's downstairs, but she let me come up to the Vinyl Attic to talk a little bit about this new ELO album that's so good. But before, I wanted to show you some of my ELO vinyl that I've collected over the years. A lot of you might know that ELO has been a very important band in my life. More on that in a second. So just before we get to the new album, we've got Face the Music, Evil Woman, and Strange Magic. It's such a great early ELO record. Eldorado. Can't get it out of my head. When you hear this on the radio, my god, it still just really gets me. On the third day, Showdown, Mama Bam Bell. I mean, look at Jeff Lynne's hair. He has the same hair now that he had then. I'm gonna guess that it's a wig. He's been around a while, so. Ole ELO, which is an early greatest hits record. The Night the Lights Went Out in Long Beach, which is a weird live record I picked up along the way. It's pretty good. It's fun to hear the old days. Strange Messages, or Secret Messages, which I loved. I really like the idea of secret messages. I think it's part of the Beatle-y influence, and a pretty good kind of overlooked record. Balance of Power. I wasn't really into ELO at this point. They sort of lost all the strings by this point. It's really just the Jeff Lynne band. But I kind of rediscovered it later. Kind of a cool record. Discovery. Oh, this record was such a huge hit. So much on the radio. Don't Bring Me Down. Kind of their disco record. Horace Wimp. Yeah, every song on this is sort of really wonderful. Bliss. Goofy Bliss. Speaking of, we got the Xanadu soundtrack. You got to have this in your collection with Olivia Newton-John and ELO together. And there she is right there, Olivia. Time. We're into the 80s, and this is just kind of a concept record that really takes you places. Somebody ought to write a book about this. Oh yeah, somebody did. I really love this record so much. I mean, it's just... it's like just disappearing into this album. Out of the Blue, man, this was a monster record when this came out. Double record. Ooh, the spaceship landed when the concert, when they did this tour, there was a big giant spaceship over the stage. A million hits. I bought, when it came out, I bought a Sweet Talking Woman at the record bar at the mall on purple vinyl when it came out. I'm glad I still have that. And then of course I have to talk about A New World record. The record I bought on the Columbia House Record Club. Was convinced that it was a concept album. Many years later, I wrote a book. I wrote a book called The Mission of the Sacred Heart, based on this record. Thinking about the themes on this record and kind of trying to bring them up to the modern era. And the book did quite well. It's down in Hollywood now, being developed into a screenplay. And hopefully ELO will have the soundtrack. I'll put a link to the book in the description if you want to pick it up. If you're a fan of ELO, there's just millions of little secret messages for ELO fans, but each chapter in the book is based on a song on this record. And I don't think I've ever inhabited an album as much as I've inhabited this one. Of course, this is the one with Rock Aria and Telephone Line and Living Thing, and it's just the most perfect record I think ever made. Of the perfect records. And then we had the return of ELO a few years ago with Alone in the Universe. This was a great record. Jeff Lynne sort of reunites with Jeff Tandy, only of the original ELO band. Bev Bavin's not onto it. It's sort of all ELO. Andy and I saw this tour at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, and it was just brilliant. It sounded so good. All the old songs sounded good. The new ones sounded good. This is a really good comeback, even if it wasn't really a light orchestra. It's Jeff Lynne's ELO. Which brings us to the new record that just came out on Friday. Jeff Lynne's From Out of Nowhere, almost coming from out of nowhere. I listened to it first on Spotify and just immediately fell in love with it. It sounds like such classic ELO. The sounds sound really good. Again, Jeff is playing all the instruments. In fact, one of the things I noticed in listening to this record, the high harmonies that you hear on ELO records, it's just Jeff. He's just singing harmony with himself. I thought, like, oh, who is that? Did he get Bev Bavin back in the band? Who's singing? And it's just Jeff. He's playing everything on here. Tandy is on one song playing keyboards. There is, you know, a lot of ELO songs about rain. So there's a rain song on here, Down Came the Rain, which we especially appreciate here in Portland. There's one song called Losing You, which is my favorite on the record. When I was writing the book and kind of rediscovering all those old ELO songs, it seemed like Jeff Lynne was going through an endless divorce. There were so many heartbreak songs, Telephone Line being the most obvious one. So Losing You captures that old sort of heartbreak. But there is an upbeat rocker on here. Sci-Fi Woman sounds kind of like Don't Bring Me Down. One of the things I have to say about this record, it's really short. There's only 10 songs on. It's about 33 minutes long. Usually when you get things on vinyl, they're trying to squeeze all the music from the CD onto, you know, one piece of plastic, and they can't really do it. This is a little short, and I spent 25 bucks on this today, Music Millennium. I was really hoping for a bit more music. There's also no digital download. I mean, it's a nice package. The vinyl is nice, and you get kind of some nice artwork and the lyrics, but I should have been probably $10 cheaper without a digital download and at least one more song. I felt a little ripped off on that point, but it sounds really good. It sounds really good on vinyl. It sounds a lot better than it did on Spotify for sure. And so it's true to form. I know Jeff is touring again. His hair is still nice and big with the sunglasses. Sounds really good. I mean, I think old school Jeff Lynne fans and ELO fans are going to love this record. I just wish it was like this one, like a double album. I mean, he had it in the day to be able to produce all these songs. I know he's got the songs in him, but maybe he just wanted to give us the 10 best that he had, in which case I appreciate it. There's no filler on this record. Every song is good. All right, that's my quick review of Jeff Lynne's ELO. From Out of Nowhere, the brand new ELO album out on vinyl today. Sounds really nice, spinning around and around. Drop the needle down and it'll take you right back to classic ELO. Dig it. All right, that's